Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or even good night. This is our asynchronical class of, of October. As you may know, I'm going to teach you. I'm sorry, a new topic, and then on the in class in our synchronical class, we are going to do exercises or solving doubts you may have about this topic. I'm going to see, well, I'm going to say that this is not an easy topic, but everything is about practice. When I give you the key or the clue, it could be more, it could be easier for you to understand and to practice it. Well, okay, we are going to start. Let me take a seat because I don't want to stand up every day. Well, as you can see, we are on YouTube. So I need you to type down in this moment what did you do on your weekend, this weekend. For me, I went to my grandpa's house to visit my uncles, my cousins, my aunts. I was thinking about going to the supermarket, but uh, it was not a good moment. I was bored and no, 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 it was not my my sense to go. Well, actually, I did a lot of homework that I didn't do on the week, and I I wanted to see my boyfriend, but I can't. I couldn't. I'm sorry. So, in any moment, I can. Um, I'm sorry. In a moment, I can read what you are typing now. Okay. Well, don't worry. Now, um, have you ever heard about perfect tenses, or do you know what it means, how they are, or anything about it? If you know, type it. Type it on a comment. Well, why we can use it? Uh, this is not very common to use it, even in Spanish, that is our mother tongue, because we actually like to use simple tenses like past, present, future simple. Continuous are not related here because they are not too important. Okay, but the first key or the first clue in this kind of tenses, the perfect ones, is that our auxiliary will be the verb have in all its presentations. Okay, have, has, had, will have, and they are related more to the past than the present or future, and I'm going to explain it. Just give me a second. Let me go into for my slide. Well, for the first one, I want to start with a present. Okay, with the present perfect tense. This is the grammar or the way you can do it. Well, for example, in positive, we have our affirmative. We have the noun, our auxiliary have or has. Has, remember, is for he, she, and it. Plus, we always use our principal verb in past participle. Okay, so it's important that you know them, that you have them clearly on your mind. Okay, so verb participle plus any complement. I have two examples here. I have done my homework. Yes, I've finished it. I don't have more homework to do. Not now. Not now, not in the present. Okay? We can write it as this or as this. This is a contraction. Okay? I've done my homework. I've. And well, we have another way when we use has. She has taken a shower. Yes, she did so. Okay? Or she's apostrophe and s, taking a shower. Don't confuse it with the reduction of the verb to be is. Okay? How we can see that it is a perfect or present perfect statement because of our verb is in participle. Okay? She's taking a shower. She's taken. This is the first clue. Okay? Write it if you want, because I'm going to see your notes in our in when we are at school. Okay? Well, we have our negative form. Again, or noun or person or whatever. Our auxiliary have or has depending on the person, plus our negative form, the word not. Our pairing past participle and our complement. Then we have two more examples. We haven't. This is our contraction. This is the way we can contract these two words. We haven't been to Chiapas. No, never. Never have been here. Okay? Or it has not. The contraction hasn't gone. It still continue. It hasn't gone. Not now. Okay? And well, our question form, interrogative form, sorry. We have for the first one our auxiliary have or has plus what? Yes, our noun. The smile face is our noun plus our verb in past participle and our complement. Don't forget what? Exactly, question mark. If we don't write it, it is not a question. Okay? So, have you ever gone to New York? Why we write ever? It is related to our own experiences. What do we do actually? Have you ever gone? Have you gone to New York? Yes, no. When? How many times? Just one time? You still here? Okay. And the second one, has she won the case? Has, auxiliary, for the third person, she won. Remember, this is actually our verb in past participle, the case. It could be a lot of information, but relax, because then I'm going to explain you the times. Okay? Then I'm going to explain you the past perfect tense. Just give me a second. I'm going to change the slide. I want to make a note. Grammarly, this is too simple because the grammar is actually the same for the three tenses. Past, present, and future perfect have the same structure. If you see, the change is our auxiliary, or the way our auxiliary is written. Okay? Now, we have our past. Affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Noun plus auxiliary. Our auxiliary is the verb have in past. So, it is have plus our verb participle plus any complement. So I'm going to read you, and I want you to write down, okay? I have played this game before. Look at this. Before you came here. I played it before. I have played even when you wasn't here, okay? Number 2. They have woken up since 6 a.m. If I woke up at 9 a.m., they had woken up before me. Before me. Number 3. This is the way we can contract it, okay? With apostrophe letter D, with her babies crying, but never like them, okay? How we can see that this is not the contraction of should, could, because of the verb in past participle, okay? If after this following a verb in past participle, we are talking about a past perfect statement. Again, with her babies crying, but never like them. So then we have the negative form. We have our smiling face, refers to exactly to the noun. Noun plus auxiliary plus negative form, the word not, had not. Our contraction is, I know you can see. Now I know you said hadn't, and it's good. So noun plus hadn't or had not, if you have or you want to do some more formal. Had not, hadn't, or verb in past participle. This is our golden rule, okay? Plus any complement. You had not relaxed until I called you last night. You had not. She hadn't. In this tense, we use had for every person. It doesn't matter if it's I, you, he, she, it, they, we. It doesn't matter. She hadn't remembered her boyfriend's last name, so she asked him. Obviously. So she asked him. Look at this. We have past participle. Past perfect. But we also have past simple. This is a clue for our key. And then the interrogative one, or auxiliary, have plus noun plus verb in past participle plus complement plus, please never forget this one, because you actually commonly forget it. So don't forget the question mark. So 1. Had you ever related about our own experiences, okay? Had you ever had dinner here? Look at this. This is kind of curious. We have and have. What's the difference? If you know, type it. If I can see that you type all I've been asking you for, I'm going to give you more extra points this portion. So if you know and you type it down, why we have to have? This is because the first one is about our auxiliary. The second one is our principal verb. The verb, the verb in past participle, okay? Have you ever had? Had you have? Dinner here? Diner here? Dinner here? I'm sorry. Um, 2. Have you bought these boots before asking me? You did it before you asking me? And the number 3. Had you listened this song before I recommended it to you? Before? And this is curious, and I want to come back to this. The example in have and have. If it was affirmative, how it was. How it was. How it could be. It could be, I have had dinner here before. In negative, I hadn't had dinner here before. And this is totally correct. Even if it sounds funny, this is correct. So we are going to pass to exactly the future. Give me a second, please. Well, I like to work with slides because it's easier for me and I think it's faster for everyone. So this one is the future perfect tense grammar, or the future. Well, we have actually positive, negative, and yes, interrogative. We have our person, noun, smiley face, plus who it could be. Our auxiliary is the future of have. How we transform a verb into the future? We add the word will. These 2 words are our auxiliary, or the contraction. You'll have, you'll have, I'll have, she'll have, you'll. Remember the pronunciation. I don't want you to say il, she'll, you'll. No, it's you'll. It is longer, okay? It is longer. Plus the verb participle, plus the complement. She will have finished it at 10 p.m. She will done. She will have it done. Okay? Okay, here the example. You'll have wrote your first horror book maybe in 2 years, maybe tomorrow, maybe for by 10 years in the future. We don't know. But you have wrote it. Done. Then we have our negative. You know, that exactly the noun plus or auxiliary, but it will match or will be mixed with the negative form. Why? Because we are not to say will have not. We put the not between these 2 words, okay? Will not have, or the contraction won't have. Will not have or won't have. Perfect. Plus verb participle plus our our complement. Number 1, in 1 year you will not have asked for him again. In 1 year, where? In the future. In any point of the future. The second clue. In one point of the future. In 1 year, you will not have asked for him again. If you want, it is not correct to say, But if you want to translate this to Spanish, this statement or this sentence to Spanish, it would make sense for you if you are like, what is this? Because it could be the most confusing of the three. So then do it and it could make sense. The second one is exactly, they won't have learned anything bad. If you raise your kids correctly, in a future they will see that they won't have learned anything bad. And our interrogative, we are going to match the auxiliary with the noun. Will, noun, have. Will, our noun could be between these two words. Will, noun, have. Plus or verb participle, you know the first, the golden rule. Plus or complement plus exactly this sign, the question mark. Will you have studied these topics for the exam tomorrow at 9 p.m.? We have a time, we have a statement. So this is the key. 2. Will we have met your boyfriend by tonight, Gabby? By tonight? Do you think so? Grammarly, it is too simple. Too simple. But the logical come here. So please let me change the slate to explain you a little. I come back. Before I explain you this, I want to ask you something. Regularly in English or even in Spanish, do you think we use perfect tenses in our common life, not in a class like this? Type it down. Yes or no, and why do you think so? And why do you think so? Do you think so? Done? Well, I suppose, and I'm going to see it in my notes, in my personal notes. I think we are simplified persons because we think that the simple tenses are enough to express ourselves, okay? We don't say I have been here. We say, oh, I went, or I came here before. Yes, and it's done. And the perfect tenses can give extra information. I'm going to explain you this. And I want to start again with present perfect. We have a line time or línea del tiempo in Spanish, where we have the past, the present, and the future. Use your imagination, please, because I'm not a good drawer. Okay? So, this part in green, in a deep green, is the present perfect. We can say, I watch horror movie. We have our second part, and well, you can say I watch horror movies as a habit or as a regular activity, or you can say I have horror movie several times, or I've watched this movie, but we don't know if you finish it. Okay? So, we can say that the present perfect is something that starts in any moment of the past, but it still continue over the present. Or something that repeats and repeats and repeats. For example, I have visited my boyfriend 3 times this month. I did it more than once. Okay? Or a habit or activity or something that is logical on you. This is my pet, and I have lived my entire life with him. Okay? What about the past? The past is the pink one. It's something that starts after the past. It can continue over the past and even till the present. This is the reason why I tell you in a statement regularly there are past perfect and sometimes simple past to create a line between the past and before the past. When he had his dinner, I did it until he had. Okay? And what about the future? The future is something that happened over the present and future, between the present and future, but when you're talking about it, you're talking in perspective. Okay? It can talk about the logic, a goal in a long or short or medium time, and it wants as I told you before, in a perspective. It looks in a perspective. Okay? It's something that starts in the future and will be completed where? After the future or over the future. Sure, it's something that is sure that will be happy. By this December, I will have done my career. Why? Because it will happen. I want you draw to draw it to draw it down on your notebook because I will check it. Okay? So, I want you to know that British people or British English, they are correct, too correct to work. None. And they use it. They actually use these tenses. Where the situation or the context requires it. As I told you before, this is only practice. Practice and practice and practice. Okay? But American people don't like them. They prefer to use simple tenses. But if you use it, you will look better. Okay. In Spanish, we don't use them a lot, even if we have the same grammar as English, because it sounds a little strange for us. For us, it's the same. In Europe, Spain, they use it a lot, but here we don't. It sounds strange, a little strange. It's not common. We can look picky, or you know the word in Spanish. I don't have to say it. We can get confused or confuse another about the intention or the duration of an activity. They cannot get clearly if we did it, or we still do it, or what, no? And then we're going to do an activity. Give me a second. Now, here we have our activity. This is, we have 9 sentences, and this is a blank space activity. You have to complete with have, has, had, or will have, depending on the context. Okay? It could be, I think they are positive or affirmative statements, but the question here is in which tense they are. So we are going to do it on the road. I'm going to give you 2-3 seconds to answer, but if it is not enough, you can pause the video and answer and then check if your answer is correct. So we have, I finish this book next month if I hurry up. So, yes, I will have. The answer is will have. Check if you're correct. Then we have tomorrow at this hour my parents left Japan. Yes, this is actually future perfect. So, tomorrow at this hour, my parents will have left Japan. Okay? Number 3. Number 2. This is my house. I lived here all my life. Yes, this is present perfect. Why? Because it's something that is a habit, that is commonly a common factor of her life. This is my house. I have or I've lived here all my life. Number 4. No teacher Santos asked it to go to the bathroom before me. 1, 2, 3. Yes, this is past perfect. So, I'm going to write the contraction. No teacher Santos or have asked it to go to the bathroom before me. Number 5. Actually, we been to Canada several times. 1, 2, 3. And yes, this is present perfect. Perfect. So, we correspond have or has. Have. We have been to Canada. Actually, we have been to Canada several times. Then, I think you can see better like this. Okay, don't worry. Number 6. Frida met her boyfriend before the party. Frida met her boyfriend before the party. 1, 2, 3. Yes, this is past perfect. So, we rewrite the word have. Frida had met her boyfriend before the party. Met us see each other, not known for the first time. Okay? Remember, see each other. Frida had met her boyfriend before the party. Number 7. When her husband arrived, she cooked dinner. Hey, I don't like this statement, but so 1, 2, 3. When her husband arrived, this is future perfect. So we have. Remember, when it is future, we don't use has. We use have. Okay? When her husband arrived, she will have cooked dinner. Hurry up. Number 8. I'm not that sure that you can see. So I think you can see better. Now we have the number 8. Kate wanted to go on vacation, but she didn't have the money to do that. 1, 2, 3. Yes, this is past perfect. Well, Kate had wanted to go on vacation, but she didn't have the money to do that. And the last one is the number 9. Oh no, my sister forgotten his password again. Think. 1, 2, 3. And the response is which tense? Yes, present. We are going to do with the contraction. Yeah, and under it. Oh no, my sister's forgotten his password again. Oh no, my sister has forgotten his password again. If you have all this correct, please check it. And if it's not, don't worry, it's just a practice. So, please type it down again, all the dots you have, just because I want to, yes, I want to read them, answer them, and explain them when we are face to face in the classroom. Also, I'm going to give you one homework and one recommendation. The first one is that in the box, or in a comment, in a top comment, I'm going to give you 4 links to do exercises. Yes. To do more extra exercises. They are not for homework or for any activity. They are just if you want to do them. One is a game and another 3 are for any, yes, you know, anything. And the homework is that you will make a little text around 120 and 180 words talking about your best and worst experiences. Please use simple and perfect tenses. And then this is all. Thank you so much for your attention, and we are going to see next Thursday. Muy bien, profesor. Bueno, esto ya es para a modo de conclusión acerca de lo que estuvimos trabajando. Perdónenme la mano. Yo decidí ponerle más atención a la parte de gramática porque estoy creyendo que es su primer acercamiento, que al ser adultos universitarios, ellos ya no necesitan una situación previa como los niños cuando juegas con ejemplos, no. Ellos vámonos a lo gramático y a partir de lo gramático vas a ir agarrando la lógica, pero si no la agarras, bueno, por algo utilicé la línea del tiempo. Entonces, Quise tomarme mi tiempo porque todos somos muy visuales. A pesar de que crezcamos, creo que el humano es muy visual por sí mismo en cuanto a... bueno, sí, tópicos que se aprenden por primera vez o en el supuesto de que es la primera vez. Porque ya sabemos que en la universidad no siempre vienen desde cero. Algunos ya traen conocimientos previos. Entonces, bueno, quise usar la línea del tiempo porque a partir de ver dónde se sitúa desde nuestra mente, o sea, ellos ya se pueden hacer la imagen mental de una línea del tiempo y decir, bueno, este va antes del pasado, pero sobre el presente, este va después del futuro. Entonces creo que es importante para ellos irnos a lo teórico, después lo práctico. Obviamente ellos no lo pueden palpar, no pueden palpar la línea del tiempo, pero pueden acomodar todo desde su mente. Pueden ponerlo en orden. Quise hacer esta actividad de fill the blanks porque creo que es una buena oportunidad para que ellos vieran las clues, las llavecitas que de repente les estaba dando cuando les explicaba. Por ejemplo, before, antes de, pues si es antes de algo que ya había pasado, algo que pasó, obviamente es algo que había pasado. Creo que los hacía razonar muy bien. Y la razón por la que les pedí esta tarea es porque quiero saber cómo en un primer acercamiento ellos pueden mixear los tiempos simples con los tiempos perfectos. Porque en una plática diaria, porque en un inglés británico, que es el que se nos enseña normalmente, pues claro, ¿no? Es lo que siempre se ve, como use of English, use of English. Y les pedí esto porque se supone que no son una clase primeriza. Ellos ya pueden escribir bastante, 120 a 180 palabras. Se me hacen un ranking no tan grande, no tan pequeño. Y traté de irlo explicando como paso por paso, con muchos ejemplos, porque se supone que en el supuesto de que sea el primer acercamiento, pues el uso de muchos ejemplos. No quise hablarles en español, pero quise un poquito mencionarles que es de cierta manera un poco lo mismo, ¿no? Incluso cultural, socialmente, viene siendo muy similar una cosa a la otra. Entonces, bueno, eso fue lo que traté de hacer. Traté de ir interactuando con ellos, incluso si no estamos frente a frente. Mi modalidad era una clase grabada en un sistema híbrido, porque el jueves nos íbamos a ver en persona. Entonces, bueno, ya llevamos de gane, ya no tengo que llegar a la clase y explicarles, oye, mira, este es el presente, este es el futuro. Ya me voy directo con dudas, ya me voy directo con más actividades, ya me voy directo con algunas dudas más específicas, ¿no? Entonces, para ir trabajándolo sobre una vida más cotidiana, cuando me mixeas, cuando tú mismo te das cuenta que si usas presente simple me quieres decir esto, pero si estás usando presente perfecto me quieres decir más bien esto, que ya no es tanto presente, ya es más pasado, o sea, por eso lo quise hacer de esa manera. Obviamente me gustaba trabajar con slides, con papel bond, porque obviamente las voy a llevar, porque obviamente el ser su primer acercamiento, a lo mejor 50 ya lo saben, pero uno no, tengo que regresarme por ese uno. Ellos van a verlo, a palparlo ahora sí en persona, y es la misma slide, no voy a usar otro ejemplo porque lo tengo que volver a escribir, no. Entonces ellos pueden verlo a través de la pantalla y el día que nos veamos lo van a ver. Trataba yo de ser chistosa, de ser amigable, porque a veces un tema nuevo nos puede sonar, uy, ¿no? Un poco escabroso. Entonces, si sueno más amigable, si sueno como la amiga que te amenaza, si sueno como la amiga que te incluye en la plática y te pide, ay, ¿cómo era? ¿Dónde fuimos? Starbucks, ¿no? Aquí obviamente no, era una actividad guiada, era algo que tenían que ir escribiendo, los obligaba a hacer apuntes, los obligaba a participar en los comentarios. Y de alguna manera hacemos dinámica la clase para que cuando nos veamos ya llevemos, aunque sea un poco, de ventaja. Yo sé que me faltaron muchos puntos por dar, pero son 3 temas, son temas gramaticales, es muy difícil darlos todos y no quedarte corta. Entonces, bueno, eso es más o menos lo que hice. Muchas gracias y perdón porque sean 2 partes, pero mi teléfono no alcanza a grabar más de 24 minutos. Entonces, bueno, muchas gracias, profesor.